Of course, His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi have also said he is against the process. And of course, the process is what is challenging. Yeah, good afternoon and welcome to this episode on Noble TV Live. My name is Chidi Peters, and of course this afternoon we are going to look into a critical issue. It's no longer news that His Excellency, the former governor of Anambra State, Mr. Peter Obi, has filed petition against Bola Ahmed Tinubu's victory. And of course, he's anchoring his legal battle on so many grounds. And of course, part of the ground of the petition that Peter Obi just filed, which is no longer news, was that Mr. Ahmed Bola Tinubu, at the time that was elected president, was not qualified to contest for the election. Of course, he anchored his claim on the fact that Ahmed Bola Tinubu of APC was fined $460,000 for offenses involving dishonesty, namely narcotic traffic imposed by United States District Court, not District, and of course, Eastern Division. And of course, they cited the case number between United States of America and Ahmed Bola Tinubu. And of course, several documents making round and going viral. The 40-page document indicates actually that Ahmed Bola Tinubu was convicted for dishonesty and illegal deal in narcotic. And of course, the media aid to Ahmed Bola Tinubu have come up on several occasions to debunk the rumor and say that Bola Ahmed Tinubu was never directly involved in such illegal business, but was somehow implicated. And according to the media aid, that issue was settled amicably by plea bargain as far back as whatever year they must have quoted. And of course, the current document now surfacing shows that actually there was such a deal. And of course, Mr. Peter Obi is also challenging the candidature of Shettima, who is the vice president candidate of Ahmed Bola Tinubu. And of course, he said that as at the time he was nominated for vice president candidature, Ahmed Shettima was actually a senatorial candidate for Borno Central District. And of course, he never resigned that position. And of course, he's contesting that in as much as at the time he was nominated as vice president candidate, on that he is not qualified to sit in as presidential candidate. Of course, whatever affect the president-elect definitely is going to affect the vice president-elect because it's a joint ticket. And of course, whatever affect the candidate is definitely going to affect the presidential ticket, because that was ruling that we got in Bayelsa, because it's a joint ticket, it's interwoven, that you cannot separate any of them. And of course, the petition which Mr. Peter Obi seek the following relief from the Honorable Court. And of course, he first relief that it is determined that at the time of presidential election held on February 25th, 2023, the second and third respondents were not qualified to contest the election. And of course, two, that it is be determined that all the votes recorded for second respondent in the election was waste votes owing to the disqualification of the second and third respondent. That it should be determined that on the basis of remaining votes after discontinuance, the vote credited to second defendant respondent, the petitioner score a majority of lawful votes cast at the election and hold no less than 35% of the vote in each of the two-thirds of the state of the federation and the federal capital territory. And of course, he's contesting the issue of capital territory has come, of course, under a serious contention. And there are some of our local luminaries, including Adefayo Himi, Zehome, Bazu, and so on and so forth, whose legal IQ is very high. And of course, to us who are literal people, who see them as Lord of the law. And of course, they have come up to say a lot about that. And of course, they make references to judgment that have effect in that regard. But of course, Peter Obi is also challenging that having scored to 25% vote in the federal capital territory, which no other candidates of the PDP or APC made such requirement, that also qualified him to be declared the president-elect. And of course, His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi is also challenging some votes cast in 11 states where they talk about overvoting, bypassing of beavers, and of course, the inability of the INEC to upload some result of the polling units. And up till now, INEC cannot have record of where such results can emanate from. And of course, there is a mutilation and a blurring of result sheet uploaded on INEC website. And of course, alteration that also rendered what INEC have done invalid. And of course, Peter Obi, that is the Labour Party, have subpoenaed Amazon, which hosted the website of INEC, and of course, they have gotten some documents from there, which they have said that defense. So it's a legal battle, and of course, it's a battle to save the nation. And of course, His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi have said that he is against the declaration of Ahmed Tinubu as president-elect, but he is against the process. And of course, the process is what is challenging. But in that case, let us watch and look out and find out how the legal battle is going to end. And of course, before May 29th, who is going to be declared the president-elect? Is it Peter Obi of Labour Party, Atiku Abubakar of PDP, or the already declared president-elect Ahmed Bola Tinubu? But in all, whatever is determined in court will stay standard for the subsequent election to be held in this country. And of course, this legal battle is a determinant factor in Nigeria. And of course, everything has to be done within the human capacity to ensure transparency, equity, fair hearing, and justice. This is where I'm going to draw the curtain for today. Of course, just go in there, like, subscribe, comment, share. I remain Chidi Peters. Bye-bye.